If you're ever in a place where you have an awkward angle, you don't like what you're looking at, you can go over to this view cube box and there's different views. You can zoom to fit to window. I like often starting sort of in my isometric view, so it brings it right back to the center and I can see all of my planes. Another feature is if you don't want to see those planes anymore, I don't necessarily need to see planes, I just want to see the part, I can hit P on my keyboard and it will make them go away, so then I just have the part in front of me. All right, we need to do some more drawing, some more sketching to make our pattern. So I'm going to choose the sketch tool again. Now, we don't have a plane exactly, but we have flat surfaces. Any flat surface we could choose to draw on, and we want to draw on the piece of wood so that we can cut through it. I click on that, it comes up with sketch 1. I'm going to write patterning sketch as my title there. I'm going to hit N to, or not N while I'm typing. I'm going to hit Enter and then N to make that normal to my screen. And then I'm going to zoom in. Now, your design will be different than mine, but what we need to make sure is that we have an enclosed shape. In Adobe Illustrator, we were able to do just a single line, and it recognized that. That is not the case in Onshape. We want to have an enclosed shape. In order to make an enclosed shape, it has to be turned to gray on the inside, and you'll notice that a little later on. The enclosed shape that I want to make is sort of not quite an oval, a little bit of an oblong shape, and it has some lines of symmetry. So you'll also learn a little bit about how to develop using symmetry. You might use some of your math skills here. So I'm going to be developing a line, and I want it to be a construction line, and I'm going to just develop it here. I'm going to make an L. It'll become apparent what I'm doing with this in a minute. I want to give it dimensions here. I don't want this to be too big, so I'll maybe make it 0.7 centimeters in that direction. And then I'll come in, zoom in by using a 2-finger sweep across my mouse pad. Click on my dimension here. Oops, dimensioning tool. Find my identity. Oh, there we go. I got my dimension here. I'm going to make that 0.3. All right. Now I've got all sorts of options here. You can play around with shapes and sizes and splines to your heart's content. I'm going to be choosing the conic here. It'll give you a sense of what this does. I'll click on one corner and oh, there it's developing. I get the other corner and then I can just drag that in or out. I want to have maybe a little bit of a point to it there, like that. All right, I click enter if I like that dimension, and now I've got one of the 4 sides of my shape. So there are tools that we can use to mirror that shape. So I'm going to demonstrate that. It says select a mirror line. So think of if you're looking in the face, where the mirror would be. That's my construction line that I made. And then it says next to select the entities to be mirrored. So I want that to be that curve. Oh, there it goes across. Wonderful. Now I've got half of what I'm looking for. We want to do another mirror. So I'm going to choose that again. Mirror line this time is going to be that bottom line, and then we're going to select these 2 pieces. And now I have an enclosed shape. It's really hard to see that it's an enclosed shape with the wood sample showing. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hide my wood sample. I'm going to hide my sketch. And why is it still showing here? Usually I'm looking for that shape to go from light to gray, but with that gray background I'm not seeing that, and I'm not seeing how to turn that off right now, but we do have an enclosed shape. If you are struggling with this and you're wondering why isn't this working, it might be because it's not closed, and we'll work together on that. But there I have my first shape that I'm going to be using. Let's turn that wood sample sketch back on so we can see those construction lines. All right, next I want to pattern this across and down through the sample. I'll show you that in the next video.